Have you ever heard of this song before? It's by Towa, German bold italics. It's a font, and it's a CD. Yes, a CD from back when I was in college, and yeah, I've always been into funky music, and obviously it has not stopped. Got a little message here, but I'll get that later. Anyways, hi, thanks for, stopping by, Julius Bento. I know it's been a while, but summer has hit the home, and I've been dealing with a couple of tweenagers. Apparently tweens start at the age of 9, bickering. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with, but summer school has started this week, so I have a few hours. Unfortunately, the light doesn't quite hit the room in the way I would like to, so please bear with me with the little orange light here. So what am I going to cover today? I'm going to cover a bit of the hauls that I've done. Yeah, they call it, the Filofax world, that's where I kind of heard it. The terminology haul is when you go to a place and you buy a bunch of things, which you probably shouldn't be buying, but you do it anyways because it's either too cute or you just have to feed your obsession. So that being said, the first one was the Maido store, the local Maido store. It's a Japanese stationery store that's a little too close to my home, I will admit. And I basically got one of these, the Pilot Kakuno. I'm probably butchering the name up, but it's pink and it is a fountain pen. When I test this out, I will share it. And yeah, I've been into pink lately. The other fountain pen that I bought was also a hot pink, right? But I don't know why, because I'm usually quite a cherry red type of person. It's probably because I used to have cherry red patent leather shoes when I was 5, right? It's the age thing, but yeah, I'm really into these. They're roller balls, however, and despite the fact that my writing is hellacious, and I need to practice, I really getting interested more in the fountain pen, and I think I want to, practice more, but yeah, I'm gonna try this out and I will show you. The other thing I got at the store was at Maido was the Midori paper A5 notebook. According to some folks, it's supposed to be the same paper as the thin original notebook that you get in the Midori Traveler's notebook. So yeah, I wanted to try it in a larger size. Little story rolling back about that. So when I first started, started out and I bought the Midori Traveler's notebook, my assumption was, oh, I'm gonna make my own, inserts with my own art paper, quality paper and all this stuff. But then just, for the heck of it, I started playing around with the original notebook that was in there. And I was shocked. It took, everything, from my watercolors to my acrylics, and it never bled through. The only thing, of course, is the the alcohol-based markers will bleed through, but, I just would paint on the other side. And I was just amazed because it's so thin. A lot of people, I think, blow it over and say, whatever, it's just thin paper. What are you going to do with it? But you can do art on it, and it will take a lot. And that being said, so then when I got introduced less than a month ago on the whole idea of the Tomo River paper, this paper is even thinner than the Midori one, the original sketch paper one, or I don't think they call it sketch, but the original plain paper Midori. This paper is even thinner. And so far, I gotta tell you, I've done watercolor washes, I played around with gouache, acrylic markers. I have not done alcohol base markers. I'm assuming that's gonna bleed through. That's just probably what it's gonna do. But it's taken everything. A few group members have asked, is there any bleed through involved or like a lot of wrinkling? Of course, there's a little bit of wrinkling for me. What I do, I take the watercolor brush, the mopping brush, and I put a good amount of water in. pick up color and do a wash, it'll be a little bit of wrinkling, but then it, you know, straightens out pretty much. And I love it. It's phenomenal. I can't say anything more about it other than it does take a longer time to dry. I mean, I mostly use high-tech C's. They are not waterproof, by the way, but I do use high-tech C's, and even those, if you don't give it that extra little bit of time to dry, you know, it will smear. So I don't know if it'll be harder for left-handers because, you know, you might smear the ink, but you have to be mindful of that. That being said, a little side note, high-tech C's, I actually kind of paint with them, and I'll cover that in another day, but they're fun. I mean, high-tech C's, they're just, if you like fine writing, smaller writing, you need to try these. So anyways, by the way, yes, what's with the pens and the notebooks? Why do they come hand in hand? Well, because you need them, but the obsession comes hand in hand, folks. You know, I'm now down this, you know, fountain pen rabbit hole, but I didn't realize there were pens out there that were like $1,000. I don't think I'd ever go down that route, but these fountain pens are just absolutely gorgeous. But that will be for another day, I guess. But I mean, I'm starting out with these, like, these little ones, these plastic ones. But that's another thing, because I'll give you a little backstory on the whole notebook obsession. So even since I was in college, you know, I'm from the Midwest, and what was available to me there was the Borders and the Barnes and Nobles, and you know, I'd always, every time I went, I had to peruse the whole journal section, and yes, I would buy, you know, one or two here. And I called it my collection, and I justified it because it was my collection, even though I didn't utilize all of the journals. But then there was a point where I thought, you know what, I must be crazy. As I got a little carton full of journals, I thought I was a little crazy. But when my husband would go through his travels, I'd say, hey, if you see any interesting notebooks, you know, please get me some. And so he did, and fed further into my obsession. And then there was a further point where I said, you know, I gotta stop this. So I stopped buying for years. Yes, for years I stopped buying. I was just happy with those thin paper, you know, moleskin, and I would just utilize that for work and all that stuff. And so I stopped buying. Then one day I happened upon, yes, on the internet, a website in which people shared their obsession for journals and notebooks. Yes, there were other people like me who didn't even use a lot of them sometimes, or sometimes they did fill it up, but journals upon journals upon journals, and they would show their pictures, and I think it's notebook stories. I can't, it's been a while, but and that gave me the green light to, hey, I'm not so crazy. So I started buying more notebooks, especially, it kind of picked up recently, you know, with the whole Midori Traveler's Notebook thingy, and then the Towa River paper. Speaking of which, I recently was privy to the knowledge of a couple other companies that are selling, you know, notebooks with the Towa River paper. One of them being the nanipaper.com. The owner, Dave, great guy. You know, I sent him an email, bombarded him with questions, and he shot me one right back. And he's very personable, very nice. I ordered another notebook from him. it's an A5 size with a leather cover. I got the Kip, which is supposed to be softer, but it's a natural color. He had one that was called Gefeller, and it's supposed to be stiffer and tan. I just adore tan, but fortunately they're all sold out, and he only had the Kip leather ones left. And but you know, I thought I'd give it a try because I love soft leather, not hard. So we shall see how that works out. He told me, you know, I ordered it this weekend, and he sent it out on Monday, yesterday. So we'll see when that comes in, and when it comes in, I will do an opening for you on that. And so, what was I getting at? Yeah, it's been picking up this this journal buying obsession. But yeah, I felt like I was justified, and so I started buying a few more lately. So I need to put a stopper to that because even like a couple months before I got the heard about the Sennelier artist watercolor. Well, they're journals, but you know, they take watercolor and things like that from this one French artist that was interviewed, and this is all he used. Although his was pink, the cover was pink, and I heard that they discontinued it, but this is the closest one you can get. And yes, this was ordered from France. So yes, I have a French one, and then now I'm into the Japanese paper. So, what other hauls did I do? Well, that was the main thing. Oh, did I cover the stickers yet? Yes, this is another problem when you start doing these planners. I wasn't into stickers, but now I'm into stickers. What is that? I don't know, but they're cute. And so I ordered some more off of Etsy. Yeah. So that's that. They're just fun to fill space with, and I think it feeds the inner child in us, and so whatever. Can't be that bad, right? Do you want a little peek through this? I'll give you a quick peek through what I've been doing. I've been posting them up, but I do a quick, you know, what I've been doing. This is the first ones, but you know, just basic washes, little doodles, that kind of stuff. A member had asked, well, what do you do on those days where you have nothing going on? Or what if you know, missed a few days? What do you do with those empty pages? And the way I've been kind of approaching it lately is, you know, when I have the time, I'll just go back and start playing around with medium. And my medium of choice lately has been gouache. So, you know, here's the acrylic based gouache that I was talking about in the last post. You know, these are things that you've seen before. These are the brush markers. I want to say I was playing around with quite a few different brands. So I mean, I think I've listed them before on my blog. So yeah, brush, you know, water-based markers. Here I use the Neo Color 2 Crayon Dash crayons there, watercolor crayons. You know, I've been playing around. Oh, this is from Art Snacks. It's great acrylic pens that I've been playing around with. You know, again, washes. And that's my son. Yes, my tween-age son. He just graduated grade school, and they went to an after, you know, whatever, graduation dance. And he decided to wear his shades, and I was just like, okay. I guess it's just the cool factor, right? Anyways, there's that. And you know, again, this is just one of those days I didn't have much going on, so I did gouache play, and this is a water-based gouache. Oh, and I found this. I know it's backwards, but it's called Currently. I don't know. I found it somewhere, but I thought the idea was great. It's just kind of like, what are you currently into right now? Like what you're watching, reading, listening, making, etc. I thought that was cute to do. Maybe every week I would do that. And you know, just generally, this is how I've been using it. Yeah, it's fun. What else could I say about it? Oh yeah, what I sort of don't like about it, it was, you know, I was thinking about going back into my Midori planner, because what I liked about that was, you know, you had one side that was the whole week, right, week page, and then you had a notes page. That worked well for me. When I was playing around with this initially, I wasn't really thinking about what was in the front, but what I realized is, of course, all the months are in one section, all the weekly planning, like this, for instance. So this spread is all 1 week. It's all towards the front. So for me, it's kind of awkward to go from here then to the daily pages. So what I was talking about before was I wish each monthly pages, weekly pages, and daily pages that pertain to each other would stay in one section. So in other words, if you have June, you'll have the month page for the June, the week page, planning page, and then the daily pages that pertain to that week, and then the next week's planning page and the daily pages that pertains to that week, you know, would all be in one section. That's what I personally would have liked. It seems a little bit awkward for me to go, okay, I have to look at June month what's going on there, and then go back to this section for the week, and then go back to this section for the daily. But that might just be me. I don't know. But that's my sort of take on this. And since we're at it, I might as well just kind of go through my daughter's little hobo. She has, this is the A6. Mine is the A5. See the size difference, which I've shown online before. Very cute. I think this would definitely be more portable. She does like me to post stuff, so I don't think she'll mind if I cover this real quick with you guys. She's having a ball at this, and she's doing quite, I think, well, you know? OMG, starting to use that. It's so cute. I mean, she's doing a better job than me on doing these little illustrations and just talking about her day and what have you. I'll probably do more posts on her blog with her stuff. But yeah, she's been really enjoying this. My son, I made the Hobonichi one, you know, that I talked about before, and he's a little bit of a hit or miss because, you know, again, it's the tween thing. It's like either some days he'll come and join us in here and, you know, spend time with the family, and there are days where he feels like he's a bit too cool for school to hang out with mom and the little sister. And, you know, he'll sit in his room doing his own thing, like what we're reading and stuff like that. So that is what it is. But before I log off, I thought I'd do a quick run through of my craft room / art room, whatever you want to call it, that my husband and my kids worked on so hard for me last couple of weeks. Here it is. So that is actually a kitchen island, which works really great. If you ever like to stand and do work standing up, I love this. It's phenomenal. Although the surface, this is from IKEA, the surface was really rough, so we had to sand it. Just quick FYI on that. And then, you know, the big amazing section corner here that took a lot of work. I think I talked about this before. This is the malum over here, which was, you know, annoying me because it looked too IKEA, right? But then we found these wooden panels, you know, that you put on it. You know, it's like a sticker, right? You put it on, and we decided to mix it up to give it more of a modern flair. And then over here that you see there, my husband had just came back from Asia, and he got this at a Japanese stationery store. Those are actually drawers that you see there, but we put it on its side, and that's where all my washi tape lives. I love it because it's just accessible. I could see it, grab it, use it, and throw it back in there. No big deal. Fantastic. And then further over there is the that big board that I was talking about. That board is actually for a stove. The under, you know, you'd put it as a mat underneath your stove back in the late 1800s, and the idea was it would stop your carpet from catching on fire. Yeah, it's wood. I don't get it. But that's, unless it has some sort of, you know, fire retardant thing on it. I don't get it. I didn't really quite look into why that would be a good idea. But anyways, so on the front side of this thing, there is a decoration that of course faded out with time. But this is actually the, if you see there's a big stamp on there, Wabash screen door. Apparently nowadays, that is what's coveted, you know, that stamp side, and people make tables out of it and stuff, you know, stuff like that. But you know, I was really lucky. I was able to find this in the back corner vendor at the Alameda flea market, which they have once, I think one Sunday, first Sunday of the month. Yeah, I found it. I got such a good deal on it, and it just makes the room. And what I've been using it for is obviously my mood board or whatever, pinup board. Yeah, so it just makes the office, it just gives it that special oomph in here. Everybody's been more, you know, gravitating towards here. You know, after dinner, we walk the dog, we come here and we do quiet time, you know, art, craft, Hobonichi. Everybody's been moving in here, so it's been fun and more, you know, it motivates me, motivates the kids to be more creative. So yeah, you know, some of it has to do with your environment. So that being said, I've just been rambling on for way too long, and thanks for joining me. Take care and have a great week. Bye.